welcome back to another exciting season of Golden Gate Lotus Club Autocrossing. It's 2014, and today we're going to be doing something a little different. We're going to be taking a closer look at some of the cars out there and where they make their speed on track. But first, number 731, a 7 clone known as a Brunton Stalker, is sporting a 260 horsepower supercharged V6 and a set of fossilized tires that stopped being rubber a long time ago. Then there's number 79, a supercharged Lotus Elise, which running on slick tires is often in the hunt for fastest Lotus of the day, and today got fastest time in Group A. Next up is Godzilla, number 990, the venerable Nissan GTR. And finally, number 88, a Mitsubishi Evo X GSR, running in the absence of a certain flaming Subaru from last season, which you see here. Now here's how the course was laid out. Now this comparison, we're going to be dividing the course into 4 sectors to see who's faster where and how these cars are making their speed. And for a look track side of the course, here's number 79 running her fastest lap of the morning, a 41.8. And you see on the first straight, she tops out at just over 45 miles an hour there, coming around point over a G on the turn. Now on the straights, working up to 50, braking for the kink, and up to 55 before hard on the brakes, well over a G again. I think we're going to see 1 1/3 Gs, right about there. And around the final turn, coming across the line, that's how it's done. Now to minimize the effect the driver has on this comparison, I've taken several laps from each car and taken the fastest time in each individual sector from different laps, creating a theoretical best time. So what you're seeing here is not from one particular lap, except for the Nissan GTR, which I only got 1 lap of. Sorry about that. But it's still going to be an interesting comparison. So, starting with Sector 1 in green here, let's see how the competitors do. Now, of the 4 cars in their theoretical laps, the Lotus Elise got the fastest time with a 41.8. Keep that in mind as you watch what happens. Now in the first sector, we see that it's the Evo that comes in first, blowing away the other cars with almost a second gap on the GTR and over a second on the Elise that would prove to have the fastest lap here. Now the 7, having those rock hard tires, is just having fun. And now into Sector 2, see the GTR charging hard, Evo coming around the corner, and it's the Lotus and the GTR tied almost exactly. It's actually just under 6.2 for the Elise and just over 6.2 seconds for the GTR. Evo trailing behind, and the 7 still having fun. Now, if we were to put these 2 sectors together, as if these cars were running at the same time, you would see that the Evo is still out in front by half a second over the GTR and a full second in front of the Elise. And now that Elise is going to have to make up a full second to regain the lead. Up next is the 3rd sector with lots of straightaway. Let's see how the cars put the power down. I'm pretty sure the driver of the 7 is afraid to touch the gas as his car would just go sideways. We see the Elise comes in first, closing the gap that it's been trailing and just ahead of the GTR, but now a half second ahead of the Evo. So again, if we put these sectors together and we're watching this race, all cars together at the same time, the Evo is still in front, but by just a fraction of a second ahead of the GTR, where the Elise is still almost a half second behind. And the 7's back there having a great time taking out cones. Coming into the last sector, this is the tightest, most confusing part of the course. We see the 7's wheels going every which way. Evo nicked a cone, GTR is coming around, and the Elise is coming around, is already on that last straight, and is across the line first. So now the Elise, being almost a second faster in this sector than the Evo or the GTR, has reclaimed the lead of the race to finish with a 41.8. Quarter second in front of the Evo and a half second in front of the GTR. 7 came in with a respectable 48.4. I cannot stress enough how bad its tires were. In fact, let's put it full screen just so you can see exactly how bad these things are. It's coming around the corner, and what the wheel is not pointed in the same direction as the car. It basically looks like a rudder on a boat, although I think a rudder would actually be more useful out here. And again, nose plowing wide. If you think this isn't bad, here's the Evo running in the rain later in the day on somewhat bald tires, and it's still in slightly better control than the 7. I've got to say that looks like one fun ride. Anyways, that's it for this race. See you at the next one. Hope you had a good time. Catch you later.